In this video, we're going to work on Chapter 3, Homework Problem 27 from your book. If you'd like to follow along, open the Chapter 3 Homework.xlsx workbook from My Courses and click on the Problem 27 Worksheet tab. In Problem 27, we're supposed to use the histogram tool to develop a frequency distribution and histogram for the number of months as a customer of the bank in the Excel file credit risk data. We're supposed to use your judgment for determining the number of bins to use, compute the relative and cumulative relative frequencies, and use a line chart to construct an ogive. And if you're unsure what an ogive is, look at page 80. It's just a chart of the cumulative percentages. So let's get going with problem number 27. The first thing that we're going to do is figure out the number of bins to use, because Excel is very bad at figuring out the number of bins to use. So what I'm just going to do is click any number in column D. Remember, we do not want to select column D, very bad practice. I'm going to select any number in column D, and then on my Home tab, I'm going to go to the Editing group, Sort and Filter, and I'm going to sort smallest to largest. So we see that our months as a customer go from 5 all the way up to 73. Now all I'm going to do is click the Undo button. So go up to your Quick Access toolbar, which is the top bar all the way on the top, and just click the back arrow option, Undo, and we get back to our regular worksheet. So in column N3, I'm going to type the word bin. And I think good bins would be from 0 to 80 in steps of 10, since our top customer is 73 months. So in cell N4, I'm going to type the number 0. In N5, I'm going to type the number 10 and hit enter. Then I'm going to select both the 0 and the 10 and use that fill handle, bottom right hand corner with the skinny plus, to pull that all the way down until it says 80. Because if I don't include bins, Excel creates really crazy bins. So you would get 7.7 and 23.28, just very, very strange bins. So now to use our histogram tool, we're going to click Data, and in the Analyze group, we're going to click our Data Analysis. You should be able to see the Data Analysis button, but if you do not see the Data Analysis button, click File, and then Options. In the Excel Options window, click Add-ins on the left-hand side. Next to Manage Excel Add-ins, click Go, and then make sure that Analysis Tool Pack is checked. We're going to click OK. Then we're going to click Data Analysis. We're going to click Histogram and OK. So for input range, we're going to select the range D3 all the way down the column, all the way to the end, to D428. We're not going to copy the formula, so we don't have to worry about the dollar signs. We're going to click in the bin range and then use the scroll bar or your wheel to scroll all the way up to the top. Our bin range is N3 to N12. Make sure that your labels button is checked, and remember, you have to make sure that if your labels button is checked, your input range and the bin range both have labels, both include the labels. Now, instead of a new worksheet, we're going to click Output Range, click in the box next to Output Range, and just click the cell P3. And make sure before you click OK that you have checked cumulative percentage and also chart output. So compare your histogram dialog box to mine, then click OK, and we can scroll a little bit off to the side. We can double click the border between column P and Q, up between the gray P and the gray Q. Double click between Q and R, and between R and S, so we can see all of our titles. And we can see that the only thing that we're missing is the relative frequency. We have the cumulative percentage, and we have our histogram. I'm going to make my histogram a little larger. To turn my histogram into an ogive, I'm just going to click any one of the blue bars and just hit my delete key to delete the frequency. So now all we see is the cumulative percentage. If we want to calculate the relative frequency, which they did ask for in the homework problem, we're going to click on the gray R to add a new column between Q and R. So I'm going to click on the gray R, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose Insert. Now in cell R3, I'm going to type the word relative, hit Alt and then Enter, frequency, and then hit Enter without the Alt. Once again, that enables me to wrap the cell. It's very bad practice to put relative in one row and frequency in another row, and in fact in some data analysis it can really mess you up. Now to calculate the relative frequency, the first thing we have to do is sum all of the frequencies. So I'm going to click in cell Q14 and I'm going to hit my auto sum button. You can do that either on the Home tab in the editing group and click auto sum. I'm going to hit my escape key, or you can go to the Formulas tab and just click the auto sum button. Either one will do the same thing, or you could even just type equal sum, open the parentheses, click on the range Q4 to Q13, and then hit enter. So we're going to hit enter to accept the sum. And now to calculate the relative frequency, I'm going to click in cell R4 and I'm going to type the formula equals Q4 / to divide, and then I'm going to click on cell Q14, but before I accept the formula I have to hit that F4 key or type the dollar signs, so we're always dividing by the total. We are changing the numerator, but we always divide by the total. So we can hit enter, click back on cell R4, and just double click that fill handle. Remember, hover over the bottom right hand corner, get your skinny plus, and then just double click, and we've calculated the relative frequency. If you would like all of the percentages to match, you can click any percentage in column S, click your Home tab. In the clipboard group, click Format Painter, and then select the range R4 to R13. To copy the bottom border, click in cell S13, click the Format Painter, click cell R13. We have now finished our homework problem 27.